Listen, if you're following any of the headlines, you know what's happening. Crypto market is totally collapsing. The platforms that people trusted to exchange crypto totally collapsing. Allegedly, the founders of these companies have been using the assets from their customers to bid on different projects, or they invested in high risk ventures and they lost it all, and they're now going through a lawsuit. So why am I talking about crypto in this channel? I'm not a crypto channel, obviously, but it is super relevant for a lot of people because the pain is there. A lot of people got on the bandwagon of investing into crypto and making a lot of money through that. Now they're being burned. But I know that time is of essence. I wanted to warn my audience that stay away from unpredictable ventures like this, where you can make a lot more money in the next 24 months by making the right moves. And today I want to talk to you about what to do so you make the most out of this period. So obviously, if you have not invested or looked into crypto at all, this is just another day for you. It doesn't really matter. But if you're looking into it, or if you invested your hard-earned money and you see that now dwindling down, you know that's going to be painful, right? But there are things that you can do and you still have time. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of things that's going to be has the utmost importance to you for you to build yourself a very solid financial future. The first thing I need you to know is I need you to learn about is understand the lending industry, understand the credit industry, because all the millionaires and billionaires, they leverage credit. They leverage other people's money. And in the US, you have access to the same options, but most people do not understand how the credit system, how the lending system works. Over the past year and a half, I've talked to probably a few thousand people about building their business credit. That's super important. So business credit is different than building your personal credit, right? So your personal credit, you might be familiar with some of the terms, your FICO score, if it is anything above like 700, that means you're doing really well. So you're going to get qualified for loans for a lot cheaper. When you buy a car or buy a house, your interest rate will be lower. You'll be extended, higher limited credit cards and all of that. The problem with that is all of that is tied to your personal name, your social security number. If you were to have financial difficulty or hardship, having difficulty paying your credit card dues, or go through some tough period in your life and your credit went down, well, it's going to affect your ability to purchase things, purchase credit. If you build your business credit, it's not entirely built on your social security number. So you're pretty much building business credit for an entity outside of yourself, your business. So you own the business, but business builds its own profile of credit that's not connected to you. When you're building business credit, you get access to arbitrage, meaning that you can leverage credit and credit cards, and you can get access to a lot of capital that's not tied to you, because all these banking institutions and lenders understand that they want to support businesses. So if your credit is like crisp and perfect under your FICO score, your own personal score, you might get a credit card for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 limits with those limits. But if your business credit is fully built, you might get access to $200,000 of credit. Why is that important? So I'm not asking you to get in debt. I'm asking you to be informed so you can leverage your business credit. You understand the lending industry. You can do the same things that those millionaires and billionaires do. You arbitrage. You use other people's money to invest into your business, invest in yourself, and do something that is of value that will guarantee your financial future in the next 2 years. Because the opposite of that is if you're relying on your job, well, we just heard a bunch of news of major companies laying off people. Twitter laid off a lot of people. Meta, which is the new name for Facebook, they laid off like 13% of their entire company. And Google is going to they stopped hiring. The banks will be laying off people, right? If you're looking up to your job, you're going to go through a very unpredictable periods of time, which might end up with a lot of pain if you lose your job. So this is the time to do the things that will not only bring you income through a business, but will give you access to capital. That's going to be super important. So that's number one. make a point. There's a lot of content on my channel for you to check out. Make a point to understand lending, credit. I'm in the lending industry myself, and understanding lending allow me to generate millions of dollars of income for myself in a few short years. And I'm no different than you, right? You can be in the same position. That's the number one thing I would focus on. Number two thing is, if you're going to start a business, focus on industries that are going to be relevant under any conditions, not just when the economy is good or not. What's happening right now is a few industries are starting to suffer, and they're going to suffer a lot more. For example, if you're in the mortgage industry, it's not going to be easy for you in the next 12 months to 24 months or more. Because why? Well, the interest rates are going up. Fed is raising the rates, and we're going into a slowdown, right? So it's going to slow down the purchase of real estate. And obviously, if no one is buying homes, you have nothing to finance. So there's going to be no need for mortgage brokers. That doesn't mean you're going to be jobless or your company is going to go under, but it's going to slow down quite a bit. And you know that already, right? If you're in the real estate, that's another thing. You're in trouble. It's not going to be easy because the pool of people, we had a magnitude of people over the past few years who would just buy anything in the marketplace, right? There was a seller's dream market. Buyers were just, competing to get in on the properties, both commercial and personal. That's not going to be the case anymore, right? So there, people are going to slow down the buying process. Can it go down to the point of stopping? We don't really know that. But if you're in the real estate industry, you know that it's going to be a difficult time. Same thing with the insurance. Insurance industry is already suffering. So there are a couple of industries that we know will suffer through this. So that's why they need to diversify and know more about the lending. So if you're going to start a business, those are not the best industries to get into right now, unless you have a book of business already and you're in the tiny niche segments of these industries, and you know that you can make money either way. But what I usually see is we have a lot more people reaching out to us from those three industries who are interested in learning about the lending and alternative lending. So that will be a second category of things that you need to avoid, like stay away from businesses that will not make money. The third thing is invest in skill sets that are timeless, that will help you make money no matter what. One of them is learn a skill set that helps other people either get access to money or customers. Those two things are going to be super important. Either you help them get access to capital, or you know something that will help them get customers. Two simple but most important things for a business, right? Because when the going gets tough, they will need money. If you become a liaison for them to get access to capital, you'll be invaluable. You can write your own check and make a lot of money. We see hundreds of people doing that in our community. Or if you don't want to get involved with that, number two is you learn how to help them get access to customers. What am I talking about? You either specialize in email marketing, so you help them generate leads through email. You specialize in generating leads on LinkedIn. You help small businesses get customers on LinkedIn. You get better at running ads. You help them get more customers. You get great at editing video content, creating video content, being a great graphic designer. So you help them, have more visibility on social media channels such as YouTube or TikTok. They get more customers and you make money that way. So you learn other organic marketing strategies for them to generate leads and make money that way. So either you must master the process of getting them funding, or you must master the skill sets of helping them get customers. If you position yourself to be in one of those areas, you'll make a lot of money, especially through a slowdown, because when the times are amazing, they might not necessarily need someone who's going to get them customers. Like 6 months ago, if you were to approach a real estate company and tell them they're going to work on getting leads for them, they wouldn't really need your services because they need more leads that they can handle and keep up with. But now it's changing. And 6 months from now, it's going to change drastically. They're going to look for people who can help them get more customers. Back in the day, we had a LinkedIn lead generation service that I came up with. We were working with a lot of real estate people, and they were managing their LinkedIn profiles to generate leads for them. And we would charge a monthly fee of about $1,000 or so. So we go on LinkedIn and establish their LinkedIn profile and determine the target audience, the target geography, get in front of the audience, put the right message in front of them, and have them book a call on the calendar. That was a service that we provided. And at some point, we had over 40 customers. That's like $40,000 per month in revenue. And I was having a couple of virtual assistants help me with that, since obviously I can't work with all of those clients. Well, virtual assistants do not really cost a lot. So it was a business that was providing a net profit of $20,000 plus per month. We ran that business for a while. So I'm giving that as an example. We do not offer that service. Do not contact us for that. But it was a one channel, one vertical approach, right? The channel itself is LinkedIn and vertical is real estate. And they had a blatantly obvious problem that they didn't really understand how to use LinkedIn and they needed more customers. And we just did that for them. You can put yourself in a position. If you tell me, hey, Oz, I don't really understand marketing, lead generation, I don't know how to do that. Well, first of all, if you give yourself, let's just be honest here, guys. Like if you give yourself 1 hour per day and work on something for 90 days, 60 to 90 days, I guarantee you that you'll know about that thing more than 95% of the people out there. Let's say today you make up your mind and tell yourself that, all right, I got 1 hour that I can focus on without any distractions. I'm going to turn off my phone and just study one skill set that's super important. Let's say you want to learn how to generate leads for people through email marketing. There's a ton of material out there. Even if you have zero budget, you can literally go through content after content and master it and start practicing it. And a month from now, talk to businesses about lead generation through email. You can do that. We're teaching people how to become business loan brokers, like people who had never heard of the alternative lending industry at all. We're putting them into our system. And then within 30 days, not only they're getting trained, they're also funding deals and making money. Obviously, only the people who are putting in the effort. I'm not saying that. I'm not guaranteed that you can get in and make money because you're going to get out what you put in, right? But we know that it's not a matter of not having resources. It's not being resourceful, right? If you're resourceful, if you understand the importance of what I'm showing you here, I can guarantee you that you're going to find so many pain points that others have and help them, right? So those two areas, actually 3 areas. One, saving yourself by understanding business credit will be super important. The second, understand lending. If possible, get into the lending industry, become a business loan broker and help these businesses because they will need more funding than they ever needed. And banks will make it a lot more difficult for small businesses to get access to capital. And you can become the person who can help them get access to funding. And you're not using your own money. You're not giving your own money. You're not becoming a lender, but you're becoming like a mini bank by using other people's money, which is the private lenders and alternative lending industry, solving this massive problem for them and generating income through that. And each transaction could be worth $2,000 to $5,000 in your pocket if you follow the right system, right? Number 3 is learn a skill set. If you don't want to be in the lending industry, that is worthy of you charging a monthly retainer. That's so important, right? So I have friends who run Facebook ads for other businesses and they're charging $5,000 to $7,000 per month. That's one client. And if you do that, and each client takes about 2 to 3 hours per day, one person is capable of handling 5 clients. That's a $25,000 per month business for you. But that requires a lot of the doing. So you'll be doing this full time. Whereas lending, the heavy lifting is done by the lender. So it's a lot less work upfront, but you have to determine if it is your thing or not. So I just wanted to go through 3 things in the light of what's happening in the headlines, which is the crypto world is collapsing and a lot of people are losing their hopes on the technology of the blockchain, crypto, and all of that. Technology is amazing. Crypto will be at a better place later, but I want you to not worry about any of that right now. Just go into a proven industry. Just do what works because you still have time. If you want the time to be on your side, you got to make the most out of it, right? So I hope this makes sense. If you like my content, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. It's going to help the algorithm put this video content in front of people like yours who are interested in this. If you do have any questions, comment below and I'll do my best to go through it. Take care.